Hello and welcome everybody to a new episode of the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference specials. We are coming up to April 5th and 6th in Dublin, where we are going to come together for the conference and meet an incredible amount of wonderful speakers. One of them is Anne Jirsch, who is here now with us. Anne Jirsch is a futurist. So I'm going to leave it at that and I'll let you explain that, Anne. Hi, welcome. Good to have you.
Really lovely to be here. Before we were talking about Astrid's in Amsterdam, and I love the little pancakes. Oh my word, I'm going to go back there just to eat some little pancakes. They're so wonderful. But yeah, no, great to see everybody. Yeah, you're all over, isn't it? Great. We're all meeting up from different places. Super exciting. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So um you have this. I've been in this business 45 years. So, it's just like, where do you start? But I very early on, I wanted to work with past life regression. And back then you couldn't find training anywhere. So I trained in hypnotherapy, clinical hypnotherapy, because I just thought I better get some sort of a certificate and have something to back it up because you feel you should. We did back then. You don't worry so much these days. So I trained in clinical hypnotherapy and I worked happily with past life regression for a long time. And past life regression really blew me away. I kept talking to people, and I'm going back a lot of decades. People kept telling me about regression and their experiences. I could never find regressionists. I mean, these days you'd just go on Google, wouldn't you? But you couldn't back then. And every time somebody gave me a number, the number no longer worked, or the person had moved, and I couldn't get hold of anyone. Then Denise Lynn come over from America and did a big conference, and the experience was so mind blowing. I knew I had to work with it, so I made that decision. I'm going to work with this. So yeah, I trained in clinical hypnotherapy, and I really got on well with it. I just really got on well with it. I'd had a couple of sessions with therapists previously for various things, and I really connected with it. I probably because my dad used to say about the mind body connection and how our mind controls everything, and I suppose he gave me an interest. But yeah, so I happily carried on working with past life regression and various types of hypnotherapy. And then I had some military guys come to see me, and they wanted to see something that had happened in the past. So the three of us sat down and we were going to go back. And I got somebody else to come in and work with us. And we all jumped forward and glimpsed the future. We actually saw the attack on the Twin Towers. This was 3 weeks before it happened. And we were so, at the time, we just thought we got it wrong. We just went, well, we were rubbish. That didn't work out because we were trying to see something specific in the past and it didn't happen. And we all had kind of different views of it. So one of them saw two skyscrapers, smoke coming out, and he says, "Is America? Why is there smoke coming out of these two towers? It's America. There's helicopters going around. There's all this dust." And he described that. The other one described looking out over the bay and went, "The skyline has changed. How can a skyline change?" And I was looking at Middle Eastern oil. So we all had different bits. It's not, if we'd have all seen the same thing, we might make more sense of it. Of course, 3 weeks later, when it happened, we were so stunned, and we felt really low because we'd seen it, but we hadn't been able to stop it. You know what Mark Twain said: "What's the point of seeing a little bird that falls? What's the point of seeing it fall if you don't catch it?" We really felt quite. Ugh. But anyway, I started working with the guys after a little while, and we kept looking at future events, and they kept happening. I mean, I'm talking about things you wouldn't expect. We were consistently accurate. So one of the big self-help gurus just said, "You need to start writing all this down because what you're picking up there is really something." So we started to document it, write it down, keep a note. Then I started working with clients, and I was taking them 5 years into the future. They'd see where they're living, what work they're doing, who they're with, relationships. The bit that really got me, and this is why I had to work with it, that what they were seeing at 5 years started to happen much sooner. And that I like, because I'm not very patient, and I'm supposed to be patient, but I'm not patient. And the fact that you can bring the best of the future into your current consciousness, that got me. That really made me want to work with it. So I was working with the soldiers where and I started to write it down. And then once I started seeing my future in a big way, it started to happen. So my life changed dramatically in just a few months, like dramatically. I've got major book deals, just started getting invited all over the world. I mean, I was in, if you watch Ricky Gervais, you might have heard him sing a song about Slough, and he's taking the mickey because it's such a run-down, poor area. Well, that's where I was, and that's where I'm from. Left London as a kid and ended up in Slough. It's just a poor industrial town. So I went from that to a really good area. Everything changed within a few months, and I just thought, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to work with people. I'm going to give them that dramatic change, because we're trying to change things from where we are now. And we've all got things in the way. The world's negative, people are negative. We're trying to, and we've got our own belief system to deal with. So imagine when you can just bypass that and go to your future and just find out what you need to know, but also anchor it, bring that feeling to you. That's when you get a dramatic change.
Mm-hmm. And is it always positive what you get clients to see, or is it sometimes negative?
Not often, because what we're doing is we're focusing. I mean, I've worked with a girl earlier, and I could see, and she could see, she's not in her job. She is not in that job. And that's happening to a lot of people right now. So what we did was we're going, okay, what do you need to know? Speak to your future self, get some advice. So we come up with a really good game plan where she's not going to just wait for that to happen. She's going to find a better option. And we come up with it, because where she is, there aren't many jobs doing what she does. So she needs to, when that job goes, which it will, there's not really anywhere for her to go with her skill set. But she can come up with a really good game plan. And we were seeing how she could reapply her skills. So yeah, you can come up with options.
Yeah. So you do get a warning, so to speak, or you already know this is going to happen, and then you can you develop strategies to not let that happen.
Yeah.
And when you do see your future, so it's not settled. The future is not settled. It's only the path that you're currently on.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got options. I mean, our future isn't set in stone. So I've worked with so many people now, and they can just go, right, but that's, if I stay as I am, this is where I'm going to be. Therefore, I'm going to change that. And you get that advice from your future self, and you have the option of creating change. So one of the biggest problems is not so much something bad in the future. It's being stuck. Everybody's stuck or wasting time on the wrong things, especially in therapists. I mean, we try that course and learn this and learn that. It's so easy just to keep filling the toolbox, as they say, learning more and more, but they're not actually progressing. And that, a lot of people think, well, if I just learn that, and then you take a marketing course and think it'll make you bigger. This is what's happening to everybody. Supposing you go to the future and find your biggest, most genius idea, or the one thing that's really going to launch you, and just focus on that. It changes everything. So to me, it's more people get stuck year in, year out, that they're not making the progress. And there's, especially around therapies, there's so many talented people that are absolutely brilliant, but they're not getting to where they want to be. You get somebody come along who's not that good, but they're brilliant at making a big show and getting the marketing, and that they get all the business. It's not right. So I love that we can actually define somebody, work with somebody, really define them. Who are you? What is your big thing? What are you brilliant at? What is the creative genius idea you're going to run with that's going to really launch you? Then we get great. So every day I come across clients, and they're telling me how well they're doing. You can imagine, it's just so brilliant. It's so wonderful.
Because they keep moving. Yeah. So would you, like, if you explain this to somebody who's very skeptical of anything spiritual, would you say, okay, this is the future self that you see is based on your belief, your fears, and your greatest dreams, and you're allowing, in hypnosis, you're allowing yourself to see them and to visualize them?
It's a funny thing, but it's actually easier to market than it is hypnotherapy, because the people that want it actually understand it. It takes a type of thinking to understand that you can slip around in time. So it's actually, I think it's a lot easier to learn and work with than with hypnotherapy. People have so many weird preconceived ideas. I mean, some people think they're going to be in a coma and not know what's happening, and they've got so many ideas of what they believe it is and what should happen. With this, they pretty much that the only people that come for it, the people who get it. So it's actually really easy to train people, and it's easy with clients. I don't go to people saying this is what you need. They've usually read a book or they've heard about it or they understand mind travel.
Okay, so you don't have to deal with anyone who says, oh, this is not hypnosis. Those critics I was referring to, because what I personally like to do, and I don't want to be a critic, is I like to ground people who are a bit off ground, a bit too up there, if you know what I mean. So that's why I always try to find the connection for people at the lower end, on the ground, to understand.
Funny enough, when I work in France, they ask for that all the time. The one place in France, they constantly say, "Can you bring me down? Can you ground me? I'm too much in my head." They say that I've run trainings in France quite a few times, and there's always a few that ask to be really grounded and brought down to earth. I think I work in quite a down to earth way anyway. I'm not very good at woo woo. I'm not very good at away with the fairy stuff. So quite grounded. I want to know their best way for. I'm quite practical with it. I want to know exactly what they need to know. Let's get straight to it and create something wonderful for them. I think somebody asked a question. They did a question.
Yeah. So is this like quantum jumping to a different timeline?
I think quantum jumping's a pile of shit, and I think it's nonsense.
Grounded.
Count to three and jump into this other life where you can suddenly play the violin. I mean, it's just. I mean, yeah. No, honestly, I don't think it's anything. I sound really arrogant now, don't I? I think quantum jumping is nonsense compared to what I do, to be honest. Yeah, you can't. I mean, how can you count to three and jump into a life if you've got a wooden leg and suddenly you've got two legs? I mean, it's just nonsense, isn't it? I don't know. Sorry.
Oh, good.
If you're a fan, I apologise, but I've looked at the stuff and thought, what the? But it's very well marketed. You see the difference.
Is there an actual like brand quantum jumping? I didn't know that. Like brand that you market. How do you even quantum jump? I mean, do you have hypnosis teachers who teach quantum jumping? Probably.
Yeah. Well, no, the guy that started it died apparently, but a big company took his work and they put it out there, and that some of it's him and some of it's other people. But yeah, I personally, sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but okay. Yeah, there's a lot better techniques out there. That there's even just with NLP, there's some brilliant mind travel techniques. There's some brilliant stuff out there. So I think that's really bottom of the pile out of all the. I'm a big fan of a lot of people's work, and I don't think that's yeah. Let's all do it. Let's count to three, and suddenly you can grow a new head. I mean, it's just
Okay. So how do you work then? Do you work with hypnosis? Obviously, do you believe in levels of trance? Is the next one that we get to, because there's always this argument. How do you take them into hypnosis, or do you take them into somnambulism, or any certain depths, or how does it work for you?
Yeah, well, I do. Yeah, I use hypnotic techniques, but I don't tell the people. I don't use the word hypnosis. I tell them it's a relaxation and guided visualization. That's how I explain it. Just because people just have ideas about hypnosis, it's easier to say, "Look, I'm just going to relax you. I'm just going to," but. See, that hypnosis, I think, is a lot harder. With this, if they come for it, they're up, they're ready. It's a bit like past life regression. It's not something where you pull people off the street or their wives sent them along for, like they do for stop smoking. This is very much that they want it. I mean, when I wanted past life regression, I was years trying to find a regressionist because there just wasn't many. You go back to the 70s. Where'd you find them? There weren't many about. So so it's like when people who want it really want it. I've worked in clinical hypnotherapy, and believe me, it's a lot harder to convince people or explain things or get grounded. You don't have that so much with this, because the people who get it, it clicks with them. They just go, I want that. That there's a certain proportion of people that just get it,
Yeah.
and then that yeah. Clinical hypnotherapy is a different ball game. You've got to have so many different skills. You're dealing with such a wide range of people. Very different with this. It the people who want it really want it, and they get it. That's the thing. They get
Yeah.
it.
Well, they wouldn't be looking for it if they didn't get it, would they?
Yeah, and they've usually done meditation before, or they've done hypnosis before, so they've been through the process. That's the thing with clinical hypnotherapy. You get people walking who've never done anything like it before. This isn't it. So
Mm.
yes, it's great. Yes, it's yeah, they're easier to work with. Yeah, they're usually easy. I know what you're saying with hypnosis. You have to go through so many processes, and you have to get them into a certain space. But yeah, you don't so much with this. It's quite easy, Astrid. It's quite
Okay.
easy to work with.
Okay. Oh, that sounds interesting. Okay, so what does a session look like then? Like just a guided visualization, and the clients speak back to you, and then what happens?
But usually, when they come, I do the consultation. You just the usual things, just to see if they've got any health problems. My key question to them is, "What do you want to gain from this?" That is the key question, and I just sit and I don't say anything. I wait and see what they say. From that, I design a session for them. I work out what they need from there. So that's then I talk to them. I explain what I want to do. I explain what we'll do together. I take them for a nice relaxation. I've got different scripts for different things. Now, people freak out in the hypnotherapy world if you mention scripts, but I like to work to a structure. And
Mhm.
you don't have to stick to a structure, but I like a structure. If I go to one where they go, "Oh, we don't do all that, and we just say what comes into our head," I walk out and never use the training because I can never remember what they said, and it's all over the place. I like a structure. So, and people when they've trained, they often, that it takes a bit of confidence when you first start something new. And I think if you've got a structure there, then that makes you just feel that bit more confident. And the people don't use it after a while, or they'll use bits of it. It just builds your confidence. So I like to give people what I would want when I train. If I train in something, I want it to be super straightforward and simple. I want it to be the idiot's guide to. I want it to be very straightforward, and then I can walk out and build on that. It's
Yeah.
like if it's overcomplicated, then or it's too vague, then I wander off. So yeah, we do the consultation, relaxation, then I use whatever process. I've got a full range of processes, and I teach four of them, the four foundations on the training. And then we just prompt people and we work with them and we guide them. But an important part is to anchor anything that's brilliant in the future, really anchor it and bring it back to their current consciousness. So they come back feeling. Look at you, Astrid. Imagine 10 years ago something you'd been nervous to do that you find easy now.
10 years ago, oh God,
Or
everything.
even 5 years ago. Yeah, yeah, even 5 years ago, something you might have struggled with or been a bit daunted by, and then now you just find it easy because we all progress. Now, if you could go back to that past you and show the past you
Yeah,
and get your past self to go, "This is what it feels like. You're brilliant at this." Boof, you do it much sooner.
that's true. Yeah, so you speed up life. You speed up achievements through that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. As soon as you can feel it and see it. My first publisher, and she started her publishing business from her kitchen table and built an empire, built a global empire. And she said, if you can't see it and you can't feel it, ain't gonna happen. And that always stayed with me. So that's an important part of you go to your future and you really get a sense of it. You really get a sense. I hope I haven't put you guys off asking questions.
Yeah, do ask questions, guys.
Ask
Anything
questions.
goes.
Don't be put off.
And I'll ask them so they won't know, nobody will know who it came from. But you did tell me earlier, Anne, that you don't just
Wonder
take
Women have got big mouths, so yeah. So,
you did tell me earlier that you don't just take people to the future in this life.
yeah,
So
yeah. I
what else
take
do you
people
do?
into their next lifetime, and we got all sorts of things. But one of the things I love about going beyond this lifetime, listen, this was really amazing because you got to remember I was experimenting, trying things out, and I'm taking people. They've gone to past lives. What about your next lifetime? Every single person I took to a future lifetime was far more evolved. They were really evolved, and they seemed to be doing work that was meaningful, and they seemed serene and calm, and it was just so different from how we are now, and that really made a big impression on me. So when I take people into their next lifetime, and I particularly like doing that, if people are having a really bad time now, and sometimes if they're really down or they're really struggling, going ahead in there, it could make them quite fearful going ahead in their current time. Put them into their next lifetime. What have you evolved into?
Mm.
It can, for start, give you really good idea of where you're meant to be heading now. Because if that's what you've evolved into, it could give you, oh God, yeah, I can see how I can maneuver on this current lifetime to grow into that in the future lifetime. But also your future self, that calmness, that serenity, but also the wisdom. Our
Mm.
future selves, it's like by our next lifetime, it's if the human race has grown up. We're like silly children now. We're silly, we're needy, and we're silly. And by next lifetime, that we seem so much calmer. And so to take people, I'd love to take you guys, if that's okay, just to go and get a glimpse of that next lifetime. Who are you? What have you grown into? Can really create a beautiful shift right now. And I love working with this. So I
So
think
there's a question, do you need to be trained in regression?
no, no. I teach regression as one of the four things because I absolutely love regression. I love regression. I love past life regression. I could talk for days on past life, the experiences I've had. It is just
Mm.
one of the best things I've ever come across. I mean, it changed me so much, past life regression. And I've said people take these 3-year courses, and I'll just say to them, to be honest, the first one you do is going to be nothing like you've been taught. Everyone is so different and it's not what you're expecting.
Yeah.
It's so exciting and so magical. And the way you clear things that they've never been able to clear. I'm a huge fan. So that's one of the things I do in the FLP training. I get people to work, even if they've worked on it loads of times themselves, let's just have a session because it's so magical.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've done a lot of past life regression as well, and I get what you say because there's so sometimes it's a really simple life, or sometimes it's incredible chaos, and the parallels are very often there to the current life,
Oh,
with the
yeah,
soul group, etc. Whatever you believe in, whether it's the mind making up a metaphor or whether it is actually
yeah,
real.
absolutely.
Um, but what I've also had was quite a lot of incidents where names and years, birth dates, etc., came up, or stories, and you could actually Google them, look them up, and they were there.
Yeah, yeah,
Again, of course, that's not always certain because you could have read that story 15 years ago and it just got stored in your subconscious. But it is just amazing.
some of the detail they come up with goes way beyond what they could know. And Dr.
Yeah,
Ian Stevenson, you probably come across his work, but he
yeah,
came across children that remembered their past lives, and he'd ask them questions, and these little kids were coming up stuff that was way beyond anything you
yeah.
could ever
Oh,
imagine. It's
those,
really worth looking at his work. It's so good.
yeah.
I remember on one when I went to Denise Lynn, and she did 800 people in the room in London. It was
Wow.
far, it showed you there was a real need for it because there weren't anybody doing it much. And I saw myself get stabbed in my abdomen, and I saw myself leave my body. I wasn't upset, you're just aware of what had happened. And it was years later, a psychic said to me, "Have you got a bad scar on your stomach?" I went, "I've got a really
Wow.
bad scar." And she said, "I'd never made that connection." She said, "That's from a past life." Of
Ah.
course, bad scars from an operation, but I never made that connection.
Mm.
And so you can have a birthmark, or that pain you've always had in your neck. You find out trace that you had your neck broken in a previous life. And yeah, it's just, I think a lot of weight issues, a lot of poverty issues come from past lives because our
Yeah,
predecessors went hungry. you
yeah.
know they didn't have a
Mm.
supermarket up the road. Yeah, and they'd have to eat. They'd have to eat. Bill, when food was there, they'd have to eat it. They can't freeze. They didn't have freezers. So, yeah, it's. I think so many things come from. I think somebody could specialize just in weight loss, in past lives.
Probably, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's enough people who need that help and who would profit from that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
session. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let me find some more questions. What if what we want is not meant to be? How often does that happen, i.e., single and not wanting to be?
I would look at alternate futures, and I would find a future where you've overcome that, and what's different about you. What did you do different? What did you let go of to allow that into your life? So I'm not good at leaving it at that. Oh well, that's how it's going to be. No, let's find, there will be a version of you in the future that's overcome that. So, or found their perfect partner. And often there's something we're doing, or we got a belief system that's stopping us. Sometimes that shift is very easy to make. So I get invited to the wedding, by the way. If you have a session of this and you see your future partner, you've got to invite me to the wedding. Little rule we have there.
No matter where in the world. Okay. And then a comment. It changed, past life regression changed my life 30 plus years ago. My favorite to do with clients. And another question and comment. This future life is fascinating. Where do I learn? Which brings us nicely onto your next training.
Would you like me to take you into the future lifetime?
That is a good idea. I think everybody's up for that. Yeah. Okay. I'll go to gallery view though for this one so that we don't all get bored. Remove the spotlight. Remove the spotlight. So if you want to be off the screen, I'll probably take out the faces a little bit, just put something on there. But otherwise, it's going to be boring to just see Anne and myself. I need to throw in the cat for a second. There we go.
By the way, you can ask me absolutely anything. I'm totally open to anything you want to ask. I don't know the lottery numbers. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I can't answer. You're welcome to ask me anything you wish at any time. Okay.
So you do not know the lottery numbers, but you can find out everything else in the future?
Yeah, I'm not actually. There is a remote viewing technique to see you need a remote viewing technique, and there is one. But it's a little bit complicated. And funny enough, I said I'd sit down with the soldiers and we're going to try it. But it's a little bit complicated. You need loads of bits of paper and blah, blah, blah. But people have had success with that. I think because to get the exact time for this isn't so easy. I think with remote viewing, you can now the day and the time more accurately. But people have done it with remote viewing.
We are talking about the lottery numbers still.
Sorry?
We are talking about lottery numbers still.
We are.
Oh,
people always
I need that.
There is. I will experiment with that. There's a few things. One of the things I have worked with is investments. We've done very well with investments, currency trading, that type of thing. I need to do more with that. But, you can get the odd person that's going to gamble the farm and then you get into trouble. So you'd have to put in a disclaimer there and say, only use little bits of money. But yeah, we did very well with currency trading and just seeing what shares will do well. You did remote viewing with Dr. Will Horton. I bet that was great, wasn't it? I bet that was great. Remote viewing is phenomenal stuff, isn't it? And I've heard Will Horton's very good trainer from what I've heard. I don't know him, but I've heard he's very good. So, yeah, fabulous. Okay, I'm just going to take you on a little journey to your next lifetime.
Woohoo. Do we need to do anything?
No, just get comfy. Just sink into the chair. Just close your eyes. Just focus on your breathing. That's good. And as you focus on your breathing, you will naturally start to relax. As you relax, you feel your chest and your tummy rise and fall with each breath that you take. I just want you to imagine relaxing the top of your head, flowing down into the back of your head and into your neck, and feel all the muscles in the back and the front and the sides of your neck. Feel them all really relax. And feel the relaxation flowing down through your face, your cheeks, your lips, your chin, flowing across your shoulders, flowing all the way down your arms into your hands. Just feel your arms let go. And feel the relaxation flowing down your back, all the way down your back, relaxing all the muscles in your back, letting go. And feel the relaxation flowing down through your chest and your tummy, flowing down through your hips and thighs, flowing all the way down to your knees and all the way down your calves, ankles and feet, flowing right to the tips of your toes. You are relaxing well, you are letting go, you are drifting. And the more you relax, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more you relax. Any outside noise will just help you to relax even more deeply. And I just want you to imagine you're in the most beautiful garden on a sunny day. Feel the warmth of the sun. Feel a gentle breeze. You look around at the flowers in every colour that you can imagine. You smell the sweet scent. You hear birds singing in a nearby tree. This is your special place. Just breathe in that sweet, clean air. With each breath you take, you'll relax more and more. You just look up at the perfectly blue sky and you notice just one cloud. And as you watch, it floats down beside you and floats a few inches from the ground. And you climb onto the cloud and you feel safe and cozy and loved. The cloud carries you up into the air, up and up into the air, up and up till you're looking down below. Below you can see a road. The road represents your life. The road behind is your past. The road in front is your future. And in a moment, you're going to float forward above the road and you're going to float forward in time, way beyond your current life. Then you'll float down into your next lifetime. You'll get a sense of who you are, where you are, what your role is, what you do. So you're just floating on your cloud and you're floating forward, forward, forward through time, forward through time, forward through time, way beyond your current life, forward through time, then down and down and down, down into your next lifetime, down into your next lifetime. Feel yourself arrive and land in your next lifetime. And just take a moment to get a sense of who you are and where you are. And just let the information flow to you, whatever form it wishes to take. It might be a thought, feeling, an image. You might just know. Allow it to guide you and give you knowledge. Just get a sense of who you are, male, female, something else. A sense of who you are. Just look down and get a sense of what you're wearing. Get a sense of your surroundings. You inside, outside, is it countryside? Could be something completely different. Some people find themselves on another planet or a craft. Some people have found themselves just to be pure energy. Just take what comes to you. Just let the information flow. Where are you? What I'd love to know is, what is your role? What is it you do? What is your purpose in that future lifetime? You get a sense of that role in the future, if it's connected at all to what you're doing now, or can give you some idea of direction in your current life, because that life's just a progression of this life. And just get a sense, is anybody in that future lifetime that you know in your current life, or have known in your current time, you back there with them? Often we've shared past lives with people, and sometimes it can be wonderful to be reunited with them in a future lifetime. Who's there that you already know? What I'd like you to do is, in your mind, speak to that future you. Future you's calm, wise, full of wisdom. In your mind, speak to the future you and ask your future self what advice or guidance they have for you in your current time. If there's anything you want to ask your future self, please do. I've gained some of my best guidance from my future self. That's good. And your future self is wise and serene, and you can tap into that energy. You can just reach out, hold the hand of your future self. You can absorb some of that wonderful energy, because this is just you in the future. Just keep some of that wonderful, highly evolved energy with you. And keep it with you as you float back to your present time. Float all the way back to your present time, keeping some of that wonderful energy with you all the way back to your present time. I'm going to count you back from 5 to 1. You'll awaken with some of that wonderful energy, and knowing you can connect with your future self anytime you wish. So 5 and 4, you can begin to stir. 3 and 2, you can open your eyes. And 1, you're fully awake and feeling good. Love to hear what you picked up there. That'd be amazing. But that's just a little snapshot. Obviously, we do more and we communicate with you when you do this. But it's just, yeah, I love that. How'd you get on, Paul?
Yeah, very, very, very pleasant. I ended up in Scotland. My wife's Scottish, and I'm some sort of a healer or a doctor or something.
Brilliant.
And
Brilliant.
the advice was to stop messing about and take more risk.
That is so often the advice, and we do that. We faff about, and we don't have. We years pass. I mean, people say to me, "I've done well. I've been doing this 45 years. I bloody well should be after all this time." Do you know what I mean? So you do anything, chimney sweep or whatever, you should progress and build a good client. Yeah, take that advice, Paul. Go and do something big with it. Yeah, I love that. I love it when our future self kicks us up the butt.
Definitely a kick up the arse.
That's so funny.
Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. Anybody else got anything they want to mention?
Go ahead, unmute yourselves. Pat, I can see you're wanting to. No?
Sorry.
I think Pat wants to share.
Oh, really? Oh, please do. Please do.
Well, it was so incredibly different from this lifetime that it was amazing. First, I was a man, and very put together, and I'm, like an old hippie in this lifetime, so I'm like, throw anything on and get out there. I was very dignified looking. And I helped people make money and profit using my intuition.
Ooh.
Yeah. And my husband in this lifetime was my wife in that lifetime. And my financial planner in this lifetime was a client. And I actually sat down and met with like angels.
Wow.
To discuss helping people and what they needed, not just money wise, but that was what I got my most money doing, but other things. It was fascinating.
Wow, that's fabulous. Really, really fabulous. I love that. I gained so much by going to the next life.
Yeah. So, and then what I was told was I needed to build my intuition.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good. I've got a book for that.
Okay.
My first book was Instant Intuition. I'm actually
Very
back to
good.
doing a whole load of programs on intuition because I think we're living in a time where we need intuition more than ever before. So I've just come off. I was talking to my business advisor earlier, and I just said I really want to do more with intuition. But yeah, great stuff. That's brilliant, Pat. I love that. Well done. Yeah, I love it. What great
That was
people to work with.
amazing.
That's really nice. And Julia, you got something to say, I think.
Hello.
Hi.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Anne. I enjoyed that.
Oh, bless you. Oh, what a lovely group. So it's such an open group. This is wonderful. Yeah, really nice. I do loads of this slipping around in time. And, even if you just go and get my second book, The Future is Yours, it's packed with exercises and meditation. It's packed with, I always give out a lot of information. But if you want to copy this, I think I have got it recorded somewhere. If you drop me a message, I'll send you a copy of the recording because I've just done you a little snapshot there just to give you a bit of an idea.
Oh, yeah. If you find
Yeah,
it,
that was
I'll put it
amazing.
into the group if you want. Yeah. So what did you experience, Julia?
Mine was really weird. I was out of space,
I've had that happen a few times.
and that was really strange. Yeah. So when you said ask about what it was, messages or whatever, and I think it was sort of trying to tell me, or that it was trying to say that the universe is full of infinite possibilities and need to push yourself a bit further.
There you go. That's really good. Yeah, so many possibilities. Yeah, I love that. Brilliant. This is so cool.
Well, I was actually a man, some sort of handing out wisdom. I have no idea. But yeah, the sentence I got was, the calmer you are, the more you inspire.
That makes sense. We're so agitated these days. Everyone's stressed. If you got, funny enough, I was talking about this the other day because I work a lot with Middle Eastern people. I just said the most impressive people they just sit. They're calm. Whatever's going on around them, they're calm. They're the people you just go, wow, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? We're all so busy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is this. Yeah, it's an inner power, isn't it? It's really
Yeah,
not
yeah.
getting stirred up so much by what happens around you, but have like a base calm with you, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Anybody else got anything they want to mention?
Valerie, I think everybody else is hidden behind their screens.
Any questions? Anything you like? Ask me anything you like, because I've worked with this passionately for a long time now, and I just yeah, please, Paul.
Anne, you know, when you mentioned when you dropped us down into a relaxed state, you mentioned being in a garden.
Yeah.
I had a really, really vivid feeling that I was in a garden somewhere in East Asia. With hibiscus flowers and all that sort of stuff. I got this thing about being in Bali, and I just felt great.
Wow.
Any ideas what that might mean? And then the cloud, and off I went.
I wonder if that's your like a spiritual home. Have you ever gone somewhere and just gone, I know this place? It sounds to me as if that could be like a spiritual home. Or you might be jumping ahead, because some people, you've all done it, haven't you? You've worked with people and they've gone somewhere before you've said it. You've had that, haven't you? You've had that, Valerie. They're jumping ahead before you've said it. So you might be jumping ahead, and you might be going to more than one lifetime, going, I'm not going to be restricted to one by this woman. I'm going to go and have a look at a couple. I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't your spiritual home. And do you know what's spooky is when you turn up somewhere and go, oh, this is what I kept seeing. This is the place I kept seeing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I need to go to Bali more often.
You do.
You walk into that garden. Somebody's asked, the future life is fascinating. Where do I learn? Valerie, I'm going to put on a couple of courses. I'm going to do one for Australia, but I'm not going to invite you to that because otherwise you'll be up at 5 a.m. It's some ungodly hour.
No, it's Patricia. She might actually. You're in. Where are you? In the middle of America, isn't it? I mean, yeah.
The Midwest.
Midwest, yeah.
I'm going to be doing one. I do have a lot of Americans cut now and again. I put on an American training. If you get half a dozen people together, I'll put one on. I'm going to do one for Australia. I'm going to do a UK one, but I could start it. I've just had a couple of American girls on my last one, and so I started it a bit later. They still had to get up early, but yeah, I like working for people in America. They very good to work with trainings. I find them very focused. They really I didn't think Americans would be, because you always hear that they're kind of off playing with different things. They're so focused. Yeah. Really, really nice to work with. Yeah, I really enjoy working, doing trainings with Americans. So I'm going to put a couple of trainings together. I'll set the dates up in. So contact me and make sure you get my newsletters or whatever. I can make sure I keep you informed. But yeah, I'm definitely going to put on a couple more trainings quite soon.
So if we get 6 people together, we'll do a training. Okay, that's good to know.
Well, perhaps with your people, perhaps you and me will do a joint thingy. You know, that'd be nice.
We'll discuss it. Yeah, I'm sure we can discuss that in the group. Yeah,
that'd be great. That'd be really nice. I mean, I could definitely work with you. You meet some people and you go, I could work with that person. As soon as I heard Astrid talking, I thought I could work with her. I'm going on her show.
Oh, yes, she's okay. Yeah. We just met tonight, by the way, guys. We've only messaged on Messenger. But okay, so there's 2 people interested already, or 3, including myself. So there we go. You've got.
Well, how about I team up with Astrid? We find a date. Make sure you guys can make it. I'll probably have one or two. I've got a couple of people might want to come. I've not long done a training, but we'll put on a joint venture. Put on one that'd be really good. I'd love to work with you. You're all so open and really got great energy. So it'd be fabulous to work with you. I'd love that.
Oh, it's 5 of us already. See, there you go. settle.
We'll set
almost.
a date. Yeah, we'll set a date in the next sort of month, 6 weeks, and we'll put it on. That'd be great. I mean, it's so easy on Zoom,
Yeah.
just to all work together. I mean, yeah, I mean, people can be all over. So yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to work with you guys, and we'll go through a whole load of processes. And you would use breakout rooms. You work on each other. That's why people, when they leave, are confident. What I do is I explain it. I demonstrate on somebody, then you go and work on each other, and I give you all the paperwork, everything you need to go and work. And you know, because I'm a Leo, so it's hard for me, this bit. The best bits are when I'm out the way. When I get out the way, that's when people are going, wow. So when they work on each other, they come back and go, oh my God, that session I just had, or the session I've just did. The people are glowing when they've worked on each other. So it's so lovely for me. But I had to learn to keep out the way with this work.
Ah, right. So we've got that settled, and thank you very much for that, for the demo. I'm going to spotlight the two of us again. Thank you, everyone else. If you have questions, you can still ask. We'll just dump it in. Now, we are going to meet in person in Dublin.
We are, can't wait. This is my first ever hypnotherapy convention. I've never been to one.
Oh, really? Oh, you'll love it. It's amazing, especially in Ireland. You know, that's going to be, if you found this group easy, even better.
I love Ireland. So that was a bit of a pull for me, but I've never been to one. I've always kept out the way and gone off and done my own thing. But I do love Ireland. I love Dublin. Well, I love all of Ireland. So that's going to be tremendously good. Yeah, I'm really looking for any excuse to go to Ireland. Secret. 8 years ago, I ran away and got married in Ireland.
Oh, oh, you are married now, are you?
Yeah, my children were not amused, but that's absolutely true. Yeah, I did. I had to phone my kids up and say, yeah, just run away and got married, kids. They were not amused, but yeah, I did. Yeah, I love Ireland. It's
easy to get married, apparently.
There's really good people at this. There's going to be some really great people, and that was part of the draw as well, going to Ireland. But some of the speakers are people I really want to hear. I mean, there's some really good people there. So I've interviewed John, and we talked about a few of the speakers. So on my YouTube, got talking about just who's going to be there and what they do. You got to mention, Astrid. You got to mention.
Did I get a mention?
So I'm really looking forward to meeting and listening to other people. Isn't it nice to be in the audience, listen to other people?
Yeah, it's this great mix of you learn, you sit there and you get tired a bit, but then you have a break, you chat with everybody, and the evenings are just great. You know, you're just socializing, nobody's running off elsewhere, but everybody's together in the bar or something, and you get to talk to everyone, you know, to other students, or other younger generational hypnotherapists, and then the big names.
Astrid, everybody's younger generation.
It's just a great way to mingle and learn, because most of the learning happens outside of the presentations, really. I mean, that's compressed knowledge that you get from somebody who's talking to you for an hour, but the little tricks, the little things, that's what you learn outside of the whole thing.
I bet. And there's people that I've been friends with for years that are going to be there. Stephen Travers, Cole Smith, they're all old mates of mine. So it'd be nice to actually, I haven't seen them face to face in years. So it's going to be really nice to catch up with people. Louise Baker's come in, the neuroscientist. So she's immense fun. So there's people there that are actually really good friends of mine, and there's people there I want to meet that I want to listen to that person. I want to hear. So yeah. So that's I'm super excited. Yeah. So guys, we're going to put a nice date together.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Great to work with you all. I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that. And hopefully we'll catch up again soon.
Oh, we will, definitely. I'm sure. Okay, thank you so much for coming, Anne. Thank you for all that you've told us, all that you've shown us today. And everybody watching on the replay, everybody watching on YouTube later on, come to the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference. It's going to be a load of fun. Anne is going to speak on mind travel into the future there as well. And you can ask her any questions that you didn't get to ask today because you weren't here. And the tickets to the Irish conference, they are still on sale and not on special sale. Early bird's gone now. It's 330 euros, I think, but include lunch on both days, dinner on the Saturday, and all coffee and tea that you can drink.
It's a good deal.
It is a good deal. So I'll see you there. Thank you all for coming and have a wonderful evening and see you soon. Bye-bye.